Hey everybody, what's up? Circus here, coming at you with this week's Power Rankings video. Joining me, as always, is Kamell. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right.
I see you didn't wear a hat, because you might need one for later, but I'll get to that in a minute. So,
Oh
if you
my
guys are
god.
new to this series and you don't know what we do here, we keep track of tournaments that go on during the past week, and then we see how the decks finish, and then we assign them points based on how they finish, and then we rank them. So, if a deck gets a first place finish, it'll get 6 points. If it gets a second place finish, it gets 4 points. A top 4 gets it 2 points, and a top 8 will get us a single point. Now, the tournaments we track are all rounds of Swiss into a top cut, and then from there they have to have a best of 3 system, and then also one deck with a 6-card side, and they can side in a skill if they want to. So that way, all of our results are consistent. And the tournaments that met that criteria this week are the tournaments we do. So that's the Battle Phase Series, and then the Meta Weekly, the Pharaoh's Cash Tournament, the God Meta Weekly, and the Dual World Pro Series. So that was their big tournament. They have a bunch of qualifiers going on throughout the month, and then this was their big invitational tournament. So, that being said, going into the list, Kamel, are you ready?
Hit me.
In first place, Shiranui with 25 points. So get out your hat, start to eat it.
Man, it's 1 week. I'm not going to be marking any words yet. After a couple of weeks, then we'll see. But Shiranui did claim the top spot this week, doing very well,
Very well.
in
Yeah.
battle phase tournaments specifically. That is where it got all of its
Yeah, it
top
did,
4 and
didn't it?
above results. It did not perform in any other tournament, as you can see by the results. Every single result,
Yeah.
except for top 8 in the Dual World Pro Series, was from battle phase. So maybe they had something on against me. Our own guys. They wanted
Yeah.
to make me eat my hat.
Yeah, they wanted to make you look bad this week, but as you can see, Witchcrafters in second place, Blue Eyes, Element Sabers, Black Wings. This is all pretty standard stuff. But Evil Eye Goki in sixth and seventh place, so just outside that range where we really start to take an in-depth look at them.
Yeah, they each picked up a tournament win this week. And let's get to Shiranui because there's a couple things we got to say about it.
All right, let's get into that right away then. All right, first place, up 4 spots from last week, so it moved up 25 points, so that's up quite a bit. And then you can see it's got a ton of finishes. First, I mean, it's spread out all over the top 8. First, second, top 4, top 8. Lots of top 8s, so it's getting washed out quite a bit when it does get there. But I think we were joking last week that this is, mostly back row with a few Shiranui monsters in it. And that's kind of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, I mean, part of the another thing that contributes to this is that we're probably not in the experimental stage of the meta anymore, right? We had the new tier deck, Witchcrafters come out. People found the optimal build for it. Not everyone is experimenting anymore, so they're going back to old reliables, Shiranui. And
Yeah.
we can clearly see that how much it popped off. It's some insane representation if you pull up the numbers. Well, not insane, but the most out of this week.
Yeah, overall representation now down 24 spots from last week. And if you remember, last week there was less tournaments, so all the representation was down on that just in general because there was less tournaments. This week we have more tournaments, but the overall rep is still down for this deck. So I think people are moving on.
Yeah, and we'll see as we go into the other decks that the representation is a little more spread out. But Shiranui performing this week does say something.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago on the Power Rankings. My clickbait thumbnail said, "Is this the end of Shiranui?" Turns out, nope. Nope, we're back, baby. We're back.
Hopefully they forgot about that. We'll come up with
Yeah,
another
yeah.
debate
Don't go
title.
back and look at our past videos. Just pretend they don't exist. All right, moving on to second place. Witchcrafters. Now check this out. They're up 1 place, which they were up from the previous week, which they were up from the previous week. So they're steadily climbing the power rankings. They're now in second place. Do they have what it takes, though, to get themselves into first place? They're going to need more than just 1 win. And I believe this is their first win, isn't it? Or second tournament victory.
Yeah, Witchcrafters, to go up against a deck like Shiranui, Witchcrafters is a vastly more expensive and intricate deck. It's going to need to outdo Shiranui on representation and conversion rate if it wants to have the top spot of the power rankings, because that's what basically what you need, right? The representation of a popular deck like Shiranui and the top 32 conversion of another meta deck that does extremely well.
Yeah, and if I think you were there with me right when we were watching this Witchcrafter final against Neos.
Yeah.
This Witchcrafter player, I can't remember who it was, very good, knew what they were doing.
Find the name really quick, yeah.
He was very good at what he did. It was we started almost comparing this deck to Crystron's, where maybe on paper it's a very good deck, but maybe it's just too hard to play for newer players to be really effective to get it into that upper rankings.
Yeah, Buns,
okay.
Amazing player. The community knows him. Of course, he is out here doing well with Witchcrafters, but yeah, it is a steep learning curve for the majority of new players, where Shiranui, not so much.
All right, looking at the conversion rates, as you can see, overall rep is up just a hair, but the overall conversion rate is going down. But into the top 8, doing a little bit better. So I still think it's a deck in flux. Like you said, it's a hard deck to learn, so maybe in a couple more weeks. I don't know. We keep saying it's not there yet, but it keeps moving up the rankings. So I don't know. It's a weird deck to watch. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, it's there. Just needs a little push,
Yep, just a little bit more. All right, moving on. Third place, Blue Eyes, up 4 spots from last week. It got 2 tournament wins this week. Yeah. What the hell happened there? Battle Phase Monday in the God tournament.
Blue Eyes has seen a real spike in popularity since decks like Witchcrafter started becoming relevant. Just because. Well, I'm not actually sure why Blue Eyes has become so popular, but
-1. That's how it became popular.
Yeah, our own YouTube video, they did very well in Clan Wars. People saw that now they have better matchups because of the ban list. And 2 tournament wins, they just need more representation, man.
Well, yeah, you're going to see the representation is way, way down. It almost like spiked way up, and now it's just falling straight down. Down 30 people from the week before. Top 32 is down. The conversion rate to the top 32 is down, but it's slightly up once they get to the top 8. I mean, 1%, that's nothing, but I mean, it is a plus where everything else is negatives. All right, moving on to Old Reliable here in 4th place. E-Sabers, this deck's not going anywhere anytime soon, but it did fall down 2 spots from the previous week, scored less points, but it did get a win in the Meta Weekly, which is kind of the big tournament every week. That's the one you got to pay to get into, so people don't mess around. You're not going to see the memes. And actually, the overall representation chart and the top 32 chart is a lot smaller than most other tournaments. You look at a Battle Phase tournament, there's like
not a single top.
40 different decks being played in Battle Phase, whereas in Meta Weekly it's like 12 different decks,
Yeah, E-Sabers did not top in a single Battle Phase tournament, which leads to its spot on the power rankings. 4 tournaments, E-Sabers did not finish well in any of them. So, yeah, E-Sabers definitely has that representation when it comes to these super competitive events like the Meta Weekly, but in other tournaments that have greater access to everyone, people are picking up other things, more accessible decks like Blue Eyes, like Shiranui, trying out, all the other decks that we like to make fun of on the power rankings.
Oh, it's ridiculous. 6 Sam, Spellbooks, Magician Girls, Amazon, Ancient Gear, Roma, Arrow Mages, Crystal Beast, Desperado. I could go on for another 20 decks of stuff that got played over the past week. It's absolutely ridiculous. There's another 21 decks that got played that didn't make the top cut, but when you're playing in a tournament, you're playing Element Sabers. Who knows where you're going to go up against? It could be anything. Speedroids even got played. Monarchs, Red Eyes, Mayakashi. Yeah, a little bit of everything. So, all right, let's look at the conversion rate here. Overall rep up a little bit. Conversion rate up. Top 8 conversion rate up. So, it's Element Sabers. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah, just not seeing it. Does not have the same representation as it did before. That's all.
Still pretty healthy, though. All right, and moving on to the 5th place where we take a look at Black Wings here. 5th place, up 5 spots. It fell off the list, scoring a few more points than last time, but overall,
Well, like we thought Black Wings were gonna be doing really good week after
yeah.
week, and I feel like once Witchcrafters um, vast popularity fell off, people quickly realized that, like, oh, that's all that really Black Wings has going for it at the time, right? It's super strong matchup against Witchcrafters. So when Witchcrafters don't have that insane amount of representation, Black Wings does and will and can fall off against the other decks. This does not have strong of a matchup. Black Wings have a single strategy, and if that's interrupted, they do not have the card advantage to follow up afterwards.
Yeah, and you'll see we'll take a look at the conversion rate scores here. Look at this. Overall rep down. It was down from the week before. Top 32 finishes down. Conversion rate down. Top 8s are dead even. 3 last week, 3 this week. The top 8 conversion rate down 1%. So overall, it's just not getting played. It's like it was hot for a week, and then it just kind of went away.
So yeah, by the way, this week of the power rankings, the only tournaments that were that the new box was active for was the PCT and Battleface Friday, I believe. So
and we saw one top 32 from Weather Painters.
Yeah,
and Infernities had no tops.
Nothing much else from them. So next week is going to be the week to look out for the new box.
Yeah. All right, here. So doing the at a glance part of it here. So the most top 8 finishes will go to Shiranui, followed by Witchcrafters and Black Wings, and Goki, and then Element Sabers. The best top 8 conversion rates, Gokis at 10%, not bad, followed by Witchcrafters and Shiranui. And then the most victories of the week are Blue Eyes with 2, Shiranui, Witchcrafters, Element Sabers, Evil Eye Goki, and Cyber Dragons, all with a single win. So
he is the king of the rogue decks.
Yes, it is.
If you guys want a fun rogue deck, it's probably the most fun back row deck there is. If you guys want some fun, you got the excess gems, pick it up.
All right, so that's pretty much the whole thing in a nutshell. So we'll see how it goes. Things get shook up a little bit, but not too much.
Just gotta hope Shiranui falls off again next week, so I don't have to eat a hat in the next video.
Yeah, I think he's gonna have to. In the comments below, make sure to specify which kind of hat you'd like to see Kamell to eat. I like those mesh trucker hats. I'm just gonna throw.
I just bought one for work. Oh no, I'm gonna have to eat it. Oh, God.
Or a 10-gallon hat. Those big cowboy hats. That's. Yeah, so make sure to put that in the comments below. But here comes the part everybody loves. Make sure to follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Discord. Make sure to get into the Discord because that's where we announce all of our tournaments. And they're always free. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. And Gamersupps, there's a link in the description below. Use the code to get 10% off. There's Kamell's shaker. It's good stuff. Here's the shirt. Gamersupps. All right, so we're going to see you next time here on the Power Rankings. I'm Circus, and that's Kamell. All right, see ya.